the last months, at least 7 children have died because of dehydration, diarrhea and undernourishment. Dina Sambo's son died a few weeks ago, probably from severe undernourishment. People say the infant was crying for days. Lack of education is one of the reasons some children don't get treated. Sometimes parents don't take them to a hospital in time.
We did not receive the government's help because we do not know how to claim it. We have national IDs, but sometimes there's so much bureaucracy that it is too difficult to claim it.
The deaths have brought the media spotlight to the area and forced the government to deploy an emergency team.
It is true not enough help is being sent here, but the problem is deeper. These people were used to hunting and gathering. They used to fish in some of the rivers that have now disappeared. They have no land.
The government has implemented a universal plan to give money away to poor children so that their parents can buy some food and cover some of their basic needs. But in Argentina's most remote regions, where the presence of the state is not strong enough, children are still at risk. Many indigenous groups in Argentina have found it hard to adapt to a changing world. Much of the land they used to inhabit has been taken over for farming. And though the country produces more than enough food, in some areas children are still in desperate need. Teresa Bo, AlJazeera, Salta.
Now, the last spacewalk has been made from the US space shuttle Discovery. NASA's oldest shuttle is on its 39th and final mission before being retired. Astronauts Alvin Drew and Stephen Bowen carried out a 6-hour spacewalk to prepare the International Space Station for life after the shuttle program. Discovery's sister shuttles Endeavour and Atlantis are due to make their final flights in April and June. From Doha, this is Al Jazeera. I'm Adrian Finnegan. Here are the stories making headlines this hour. Muammar Gaddafi and his allies in Libya have been warned that they're now war crimes suspects. The International Criminal Court has announced a full investigation into alleged human rights violations in Libya. Speaking at The Hague, prosecutor Luis Moreno Ocampo says that Gaddafi's supporters have been identified and will be charged.
We identify some individuals with de facto or formal authority who have authority on the security forces who allegedly committed the crimes. They are Muammar al-Gaddafi, his inner circle, including some of his sons, who had de facto authority. But also, there are people with some formal authority that should pay attention to the crimes committed by their people.
Meanwhile, forces loyal to Gaddafi have launched new airstrikes on the eastern town of Brega. But rebels armed with rocket launchers and tanks say that they're pushing government supporters back. The UN says that refugee camps on Libya's border crossings are at what they call crisis point. Tens of thousands of foreign nationals are still trying to flee the country. There's been more political upheaval in Egypt. Ahmed Shafiq, the prime minister appointed by Hosni Mubarak, has resigned. His replacement is Essam Sharaf, who previously won accolades for trying to kickstart a new nationwide transport initiative. But a mass protest planned for Friday against Shafiq's rule is still expected to go ahead. Shireen Tadros has the latest from Cairo.
The whole aim of this Friday protest was to put pressure on the military rulers of this country to make Ahmed Shafiq step down. Now that that aim has been achieved, they want to keep up the pressure in terms of their other demands, like the release of political prisoners, the lifting of emergency law. But they're saying very clearly that they're not going to be calling for a sit-in.
In Yemen, thousands have again been demonstrating in the capital Sana'a and the northern city of Sada. A senior government official says that President Ali Abdullah Saleh will respond positively to an opposition roadmap for him to step down. And those are the headlines. The news continues here on Al Jazeera right after Faces of China.
The most populated country on Earth, the world's fastest growing economy, a land undergoing profound change. Al Jazeera presents Faces of China, a series of films from Chinese filmmakers working independently, telling personal stories in their own way. This is an insider's look at China. In this episode, a young man embarks on a personal journey of discovery, traveling with his father. His parents divorced. Director Gan Chao examines the social challenges faced by a modern Chinese family.
你十几岁的时候，小的时候我跟你说过这些问题吗？我没跟你说过。
就是啊，我一直觉得很良好，只知道我工作了之后这些事情全都暴露出来。你说我怎么承受这些东西啊？
那我用心良苦，那你又知道吗？我还不是为了你好好成长啊。
那你跟我说过这些吗？你又没说过，我怎么知道呢？
为什么要影响到你呢？
你要我去怎么？
你当时小时候，你知道你爸背叛我的时候，你说了一句什么话？
打死陆金华。
对，我恨不得拿枪打死陆金华。你说过这句话？
我是说过，我到现在都记得。
那就得了呗，那就说明你还记得有那么回事。
那不就好了吗？那就为什么呢？为什么现在我会变成这样子，你们会变成这样子？为什么呢？
This winter, my parents got divorced. My father left with a woman called Lu. He left my mother, who now complains all day long. It's harder and harder every day for me to stay at home.
就我反正是觉得，跟自己的父母没什么话好说，是绝对一个不正常的一个状态。其实有些现在在外面发生，在公司里或者跟朋友之间发生一些问题，回来都应该是跟自己父母说的，至少家里有人跟你谈这些事情。但我现在就是经常是没人可谈，我一个人在想这些东西。
那不说是你的问题啊，
是我的问题。
是因为你每次跟我说了，我不理睬你，不愿意跟你说吗？并不是这么回事呀。
是我不愿意说，那我为什么会不愿意说呢？
那就是你自己身上找原因了。
那你不觉得是因为你们这些一些做法或者你们的一些思想影响了我吗？
你不要把我们的事情来强加于你。就像你爸一样，要重新选择婚姻。
不是说你们的婚姻。
对吧？那你也说什么？
你们对生活的一些态度之类的这些东西。
我们对生活什么态度
I often wanted to go and live alone for some time. Then I found this picture in the garbage can. I looked at it a long time and I discovered the face of a stranger, a father I knew nothing about during 24 years. Dad has turned 54 this year. Security agent is his second job. Before, he worked in a zip factory,